Hi, and welcome to this quick demo of the ThriveLeads WordPress plugin from ThriveLeadsBonus.com and ThriveLeadsReview.com. ThriveLeads is a new kind of list building plugin for WordPress, and I'm going to show you what it does. My name is Jesse Ali from ThriveLeadsBonus.com, and I'm going to show you some of the highlights of this plugin. Here's the dashboard of ThriveLeads, and there's a lot of stuff to look at here, but you're going to get a quick tour of what it's all about. So let's have a quick look at the basics, and then we're going to get to the really fun stuff after that. So first of all, one of the cool things about ThriveLeads is that it's one plugin that you can use to create every kind of opt-in form. Now I know you've seen this before, but take a quick tour of this and look at what this can do. So of course we can create light boxes with ThriveLeads. You can also see this light box, there's a custom background image and stuff like that, and you'll see more about the actual design choices that you have. So that's a light box, and then on the same page in the sidebar, what we have here is a widget, and in this case it's a sidebar widget. It's the most typical place where you'd use this type of opt-in form, but this basically what this means is that you can add this opt-in form to any widget area in your theme. It could be the sidebar, the footer, or wherever else you have a widget area. Next up, we've got the so-called slide-in form, and as the name suggests, it slides in from the side. Okay, so this is a bit less intrusive than a pop-up or a light box because it doesn't actually cover your content, but it's still very attention-dragging as it animates in from the side. That's very cool. You can create this kind of form as well. And of course, we have a post footer form, which means that you can automatically insert opt-in forms into every single post footer at the end of each blog post or at the end of each page. And we've got a ribbon style opt-in, what you see at the top of the screen here. It's sticky at the top of the screen, so it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's still quite attention grabbing. Great way to advertise your offer. And then of course we have various ways to just add these forms into your content. So what we have here, for example, is just a shortcode. It's just added a simple shortcode for this opt-in form that can be inside any content, inside of any post, inside of any page. And of course, you know, it's a simple design and there's many different designs available. It's all customizable. And of course, you can also do two-step opt-in. So you can see the link and boom, when you click that, you get an opt-in form that appears, and you can have clickable links, buttons, images that open inside of lightboxes on click. So let's go back to the dashboard, and here you can see all of the stuff that I showed you, the ribbon, lightbox, post footer, slide in, and so on. And you can have different forms inside of each area. And we also have shortcodes, so you can design a form and grab the shortcode and add it to your content, and the form will appear inside of your poster page. Now let's take a look. If I go into the lightbox and I edit this, here we have the lightbox. We can go into the edit area where you have quite a lot of options. First, you can choose from many pre-designed templates. You don't need any technical skills or graphic design skills. You can just pick a template and select that, and it will appear. And by the way, this is early version of ThriveLeads, so by the time you see it, there'll be more templates available inside as well. So here's the editor. It's all very easy to use. The way it basically works is if you want to change something, you click on it. It's that simple. If I want to click on the text, I can instantly start editing the text, change it with my own headline, I can add text styles and so on. I can change the color. I can just do absolutely everything that you're used to. I can change the font sizes, margins, fonts, everything. It's obviously been made as simple as possible. If you want to change something, you just click on it and then you get a bunch of options. You can also add stuff just by dragging and dropping it. So there's some more text, just drag it in. The color's wrong, so we can change the color just like that, visible back over the background. And again, you can change the size, the spacing, just everything. So this is just point and click simple. You can change the background images, you can change the colors, you can change the size, the dimensions, the whole thing. Everything is point and click, drag and drop. So really what it comes down to is if you have an idea for a design, the simple way is you go choose opt-in template, you pick a design that already exists, and you make some small changes. But if you have any kind of an idea for a design that you have in mind that you want to come into reality, then you can make it happen. You can create any kind of form or any kind of design or layout using this editor. So let's save this and go back, because this is just the basic stuff. Now comes the really fun stuff. ThriveLeads isn't about building your list, it's about building your mailing list faster. And what they're doing at Thrive Themes is focusing on tools that do more than just get the job done. They're tools that help you get the job done as effectively and as quickly as possible. And because of this, there's many awesome conversion optimization features inside of ThriveLeads. And I'm going to show you two of the biggest ones. These are two main things that make this super effective for list building. The first is A/B testing. Now you might think, oh, I know they all have A/B testing. That's not new. But just look at the different features. It's the next level. You have not seen all of these options before. So there's the lightbox we edited. Let's click the clone button, very straightforward. And then we can change it any way we want. Again, it's another straightforward. You've seen this before. You can have two different designs, two different kinds of images, two different headlines, two different button text. We can change the colors. Any of those things are fine. And so we can test two different types of content against each other. But that's not the only kind of test that you can do. For example, another test that you can do is you can test different triggers. So let's say the first form, we can change the settings. Let's say I want the lightbox to appear after 10 seconds. And I'm wondering, well, does it convert better at 10 seconds or does it convert better at 3 seconds? Or maybe another variation, maybe after 30 seconds. After someone's had really some time to engage with the content. Maybe that's the best time to show the form. There's also other triggers that can be chosen. Show on page load, set it to activate when someone scrolled 50% down the page, or I can set it to activate on exit intent. All right, so exit intent means that if we detect the user's mouse cursor leaving the viewport, leaving the screen and going up towards the close tab or the back button, that's when the lightbox will trigger. So there are many opinions about what's better. Should you trigger it sooner or later on exit intent? But with ThriveLeads, you don't have to rely on opinion, because what you can do is create different triggers and find out for yourself which one works best for your site. You can also test different animations against each other, but there's even one more thing other than these types. So we've had designs and we've had triggers. There's another thing that we can test, and we can actually test different types of opt-in forms against each other. For example, if you want to know what's better, a lightbox that appears or a slide-in, what's going to convert better? Well, here we can actually test that. So we add in a slide-in form, just give it a name, create it, and then the same procedure. We go to the editor, choose a template, edit up the slider, and then now in the dashboard, we can test one type of form against another one. So I can test a lightbox against a slide-in, and then I can start an A/B test. When we run these tests, we have a very cool interface. You can see exactly how the test is progressing, how the conversions are progressing. You can see all of the data with all of these charts. There's even automatic winner settings, so we can set it to certain criteria, and we can say if these criteria are met, we're going to select the highest converting form and automatically eliminate the less performing forms. That means that you can set up a split test and send these automatic settings and forget about them. And your conversion rate on your site will automatically increase as we eliminate the losing forms and end up showing the highest converting forms. So we can run these tests between these different types of forms. Within these types of forms, we can also run the tests on shortcodes, on two-step opt-in forms. What it really comes down to is you can run any kind of tests or combine the tests with each other. So we can do lightbox versus slide-in, or we can do lightbox after 10 seconds versus a slide-in after 50% scroll. You can test this kind of thing. So what it comes down to is it's built in a way that any kind of test that you have in mind can be run. This plugin gives you the power to automatically find out and improve the conversion rate on your site so you can build your list as quickly as possible. So that's the A/B testing factor. The second factor is targeting. Okay, so this is a bit more subtle, but actually possibly more powerful. So let's take a look at the display settings. We can determine where we want to show the form. So a ribbon or a lightbox, whatever it is, we have some basic settings. We can say show it on the home page, show it on all posts, all pages. We've seen this before. It's catch-all settings. That's fine, but there's also a lot of power in much more precise targeting. For example, I can show specific opt-in forms in specific categories. Let's say in design. So what's the point of that? The point is that if I create an opt-in form with an offer that's related to design and I show it in the design category, that will be a much more relevant and higher converting offer than if it's the same offer on every page. So you get higher conversions. It can be more relevant, more targeted. You get higher conversions. So you can create different forms that show up on different categories, different tags, different page templates, different post types. You can really target by anything that you can imagine, and you can be very, very precise about who gets to see which content. What about a member site? Same thing. Certain members that have access to certain content get different offers. Pretty cool, right? Because you can do member content based on category as well. So that's pretty cool. So we can create forms, choose template, set it up, get it done. You can easily create multiple forms and then show them to very specific target audiences. And the end result, as said before, is to build your list faster. So those are the two of the highlights when it comes to ThriveLeads. And here's another thing. There's also awesome stats and reporting. Information is power, and you get all the power you need. You get detailed insights into what's going on in your site, where the conversions are coming from. You can compare your different campaigns, your different form types, and so on to really see what's working on your site and what isn't. So that was a quick look at ThriveLeads, and I'm sure you noticed that we were just scratching the surface of what this plugin can do. Don't want to take up too much of your time. I wanted to give you a quick overview. This is the ThriveLeads WordPress plugin. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and I hope to see you at ThriveLeadsBonus.com or ThriveLeadsReview.com. My name is Jesse, and I will see you there.